So I pitched the question at the very beginning of, I assume we're still in the first episode of this session. Maybe not, though.
Maybe.
But I pitched it before. What was your favorite piece of media you consumed over the past amount of time it took for us to get back to this?
Oh my god, like in the last basically 3 years?
Yeah. Could be a video game, could be a movie, music.
Okay, that's hard, because like my
TV
favorite
show.
over 3 years, there's a lot to pick from, and I am quite indecisive when it comes to favorites. But if I could name a few things that I thought was... Okay, hold on.
Yeah, pick like a top 5.
Okay.
Shadow Force.
Yeah, because hold on, Shadow Force is like Dig, right? Ghost
Yep.
Dig?
Yep.
Okay. Is that also what he just used? That is what
I wasn't
he just
paying attention, but
Haha! And I don't exist anymore. That might be a kill. What type is this guy?
in this form, he's Fire Psychic.
Right, that's a Gen 5 Pokemon?
Yep.
Okay. That's the one that's first form is the little fire
Daruma.
gorilla? Nesting doll? What the fuck is it supposed to be?
A Daruma is like this little thing you put in. It's a Japanese culture thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact specifics about it, but both eyes are not painted in normally. But when you do paint in an eye, you have like a goal you want to set out, and you only paint in the other eye when that goal is achieved.
Oh, okay. I kind of like that. Can I burn this? I guess I can burn this.
It's a grass ghost. So anyway,
Ghost.
your top 5 favorite things.
Okay, I looked at that and I thought Fire Ghost, which I guess in retrospect meant I shouldn't have used Will-O-Wisp, but it worked out. My favorite media that I've consumed in the last few years. Okay. Okay, well, NWA 75, Night 2 of NWA 75 had a match on it. NWA, by the way, not the old band. I mean, like, right, that's Poison and Ghost. Yeah, so Cross Poison, cool. NWA is a wrestling company. It's the oldest wrestling company that still exists today. It's like 75 years old. I believe they literally just named the pay-per-views after how old the company is. There was a match in that of, Kenzie Page winning the World Women's Championship after Camille had held that title for the longest reign of the modern era. She had an undefeated streak of, good lord, how long was that undefeated streak, now that I think about it? 3 years? 4 years? No, probably 5 years undefeated streak. And then it was beaten by Kenzie Page in front of a hometown crowd, and the whole crowd went wild, and it was really fun and awesome. That was one of my favorite things that I've watched in the last 3 years. Oh god, what else? I don't know. Bunch of wrestling pay-per-views that were really good.
So it can all be summarized in probably a wrestling thing.
Mostly wrestling. I've probably seen maybe one movie in the last 3 years. I don't remember. Oh no, I saw, what was that movie called? Oh, for fuck, this fight's never gonna end.
Not unless you switch out to a fire user.
Yeah, I'm switching. Fuck this. See, I saw the name of the Pokemon when they were switching into it, and I literally didn't even know what that Pokemon was, so I just picked my strongest general thing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a movie called Married to the Mob. That was a good movie. That was a fun time.
But was it top 5 worthy?
Of like top 5 pieces of media I've watched in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like if it's just top 5, then I'm probably leaning a lot closer to video games, wrestling, and YouTube videos. Media in general, I guess if we're including video games on that, Victoria 3. Victoria 3 came out while I was still bedridden, so probably like almost exactly a year ago. We're recording this late September. So
of 2023. Just in case this somehow comes out 3 years later.
Yeah. 2023, September 28th is the day that we're recording this. So Victoria 3's been out for almost a year now, and I've really enjoyed that game, like, a lot. if I have downtime, I often will spend it not totally on that game. I'll kind of play it on the side a little bit while I'm doing stuff. Really fun game. And for like YouTube, I'm just gonna say like, okay, no, I actually have a really good answer finally. I just thought of something. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, because I guess this counts as media in general. There's a podcast called Deadlock, and I found it, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe? I already knew some of the guys from it, from their own wrestling video game-centric YouTube channels. I should switch to Tanahashi?
What's coming out?
An electric thing.
You know
I think
you have Precipice Blades on Clefable.
Yeah. Oh,
or Thousand Waves on Salamence.
You know what? And I guess electricity is neutral since we're part dragon. You know what? Yeah, I'm fine with staying out then. Yeah, if we're counting like podcasts and stuff, I'm not normally a huge podcast guy, but I've really enjoyed the Deadlock podcast, where 3 dudes who all run an independent wrestling company called DPW. Really good company. They will get together and review old wrestling shows, and it's not just that their show is really hilarious, because it's not like, sure, I guess you learn a little bit through it, but like mostly it's entertainment. Reliving crazy old wrestling things from often before you were watching. A lot of this stuff is like, you know, in the 90s and 2000s and whatever. And they have the best community. Like, not just that like their viewers are like friendly and whatever. They're friendly and that's awesome, but they're also really fucking funny. Ooh, that hurt. They're also really fucking funny. Like, at the beginning of every podcast, they have a segment where they read off all of the names of the new patrons that they get, which is a common thing for a lot of podcasts because they're often fan-funded. And the fans that sign up to their Patreon will all change their Patreon names knowing it'll get read off on the show. So at the beginning of all of their podcasts, it opens with like 5 straight minutes of them reading off everyone's names, and everyone's name is like Dick the Cock Johnson, and like, or like a paragraph long about just stupid in-show bullshit, or just like making Hulk Hogan jokes and shit. It's
now
great.
That's the kind of humor I can get behind.
Oh, it's so funny. It's just puns, or like at the end of an episode of DPW, when you watch one of their episodes on YouTube, like DPW is their wrestling show. If you watch their episodes on YouTube, or if you go to DPW on demand and you watch one of their pay-per-views, which are fantastic, Hyper Potion. Then, like, at the end of the episode, they have an on-screen text crawl of, like, the patron names, and it's fucking nuts. Like, you can just pause at any moment and read the names on screen, and it's just insanity. It's great. And they have, like, watch-alongs and all kinds of cool stuff on their Patreon that I watch. They have retro syncs. This is a thing you can look up on YouTube, okay? So a lot of... I'll drop a save here. Why not? A lot of... wrestling YouTube channels have a really hard time putting up content because a lot of wrestling companies will just content ID you into oblivion, or copyright strike you to oblivion for using their footage. It's really frustrating. There's a reason you haven't seen more wrestling video essays. They do well. They're almost impossible to make because the companies go after you. WWE's awful about it. Anyway, so what fans will do is they will take their podcast episodes and they will sync it up and edit it alongside the episode that they're watching and do like funny edits and stuff with it. And then they'll put that up for free on YouTube for you to just watch on random YouTube channels if you just YouTube search Deadlock Retro Sync. So you can experience these episodes fully edited, hour-long, all kinds of visual gags and audio gags and references and goofy shit, and you get the full experience. And you just get that free on YouTube from fans deciding to do it in their free time. How cool is that?
It's pretty good.
Like, oh, that's awesome. I'm jealous of that. That's fun. So yeah, I guess I'll say if there's like any one media group that I've enjoyed the most over the last 3 years, it's I'm gonna switch to a fire move.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, it's Deadlock podcast, as well as their Patreon, as well as NL, New Legacy Inc. NL has been doing wrestling videos on YouTube since like 2009 or 2010, like real old school, goofing around with your friends playing wrestling games kind of videos. And their channel's just also hilarious and really fun, and I binge that on a regular basis. Do you remember back when I used to live in Toronto, in that one, the one shitty, like, the one-room condo with my mom?
Kind of.
I lived there for like a year between Hamilton and then when I like moved in with Fatima and Mississauga. That was like the year that I stopped doing Pass the Controller Please because I literally couldn't. Oh hey, there's no magnet texture on his magnets. Yeah.
I think sometimes they glow.
Oh, that's weird. Huh.
Or rather, when he doesn't attack, they glow.
So
Clefable has ground moves, I
electric
thought. Salamence has ground moves.
Does he have Levitate?
No, it's a
No, because
randomizer.
Randomizer. Fuck.
And he doesn't have it normally either.
Precipice Blade is special? Physical?
Nope. You'd one-shot it
Clefable's-
regardless.
Okay, well, if you think... You
I
know,
think so.
and Clefable's not going to take much damage from anything it throws at me anyway, assuming it's not got a physical move.
Or a steel move.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we were faster. This'll probably kill it. Okay, cool. NL is mostly run by a guy called Johnny, who is also part of the Deadlock podcast. But anyway, back when I was still living in that one-room apartment with my mom in Toronto, I got a raid during it that was, hold on, Drapion's Dark and Poison? Bug
Use
and
ground
Poison?
again.
Okay. Sorry, I always forget if it's poison or not, or if it's bug or not, or what the fuck Drapion is. While I was living there, I got raided once while playing whatever the newest WWE game was at the time, like 2K15 or 16, probably 2K16. I got raided at the time. That is to this day the highest viewer peak I've ever gotten while live streaming. It was like 500 people.
Nice.
And it turns out that raid was from NL. They didn't know me. They were just, once a year they do a big, I'm fucking gonna hit myself, god damn it. Once a year they do a big 24-hour charity stream that raises money for the Canadian Cancer Foundation. And after the stream that year, they just raided a random other person who was playing a WWE game, and that happened to be me. So it was really cool that years later, I found NL, I started watching it a bit, and I'm like, damn, I know that guy's voice. Because Johnny's got such a distinctive
mah-dry-bread,
voice.
or...?
No, I was watching NL, and I heard a voice, and it was Johnny, and I was like, I know that voice from somewhere. Drapen avoided the attack, fuck me. I knew that voice from somewhere, though, and I realized, no, I've heard that voice in really old YouTube memes. So I watched some more of the channel, and I realized, like, I know this name. I go on their Twitter, and I'm like, I fucking know this Twitter. I have seen this logo. I hit the DM button because I'm like, I've talked to them. They're the guys who raided me. And I saw an old DM from way back when they raided me of me just thanking them after for raiding me. And I just love that I got to talk to Johnny all these years later because we follow each other now. We talk a little bit. He wants me on NL, but we haven't figured out anything out yet. He wants to do some kind of Pokemon thing together, but we haven't figured out exactly what. But I just love that all those years later, I was able to come back to him and be like, hey, Johnny, you probably don't remember me, but you raided me back at this time, and I just wanted you to know that, like, that meant a lot to me, and helped me through a rough time and everything. And the crazy thing is, he responds, and he's like, that's awesome, but also, my I don't remember if it's his girlfriend or his wife, but apparently she watches me.
Hey, nice.
Small world.
Small world.
Yeah, I love
Small
stuff.
internet community.
Yeah, fun story. I love stuff like that. So, I mean, I have no idea if Deb is gonna see this, because I, for all I know, she's watched a few Pokemon challenges in the past. I have no idea, but I still appreciate it. Come on, please hit. Please? Please? Okay. I was so worried it was gonna end at a sliver after 3 hits again.
At least at that point,
Furfru.
he would heal the Pokemon, then he'd have another chance at getting it all the way down.
You know, Furfru might not actually be that dangerous if it doesn't have that sweet-ass ability.
And it doesn't, so knock it
Yeah.
out.
I mean, unless we get unbelievably unlucky. Oh my god, that hat is crazy. Ooh. How bad is that gonna be? Okay, okay, that was a crit though.
Look at that outfit.
I know! I'm jealous. Our
Wish I
Furfru
could pull
never
off
looked
that
that
look.
good. Yeah. Wish I had a top hat. All I have is like 1940s newspaper boy caps. 'Cause
I don't even
that's,
have that.
I don't really have hats. I'm not a huge hat guy, other than like I have a toque for, you know, keeping my head warm and my ears warm while I'm shuffling in the winter. But I'm sorry, I've already forgotten what Pokemon was coming.
I wasn't watching, so I can't help you here.
Kangaskhan!
Do it!
Yeah! So I'm not really a big hat guy, but like once every 8 or so months, I'll get a package from Hong Kong. It's from my grandma. She lives in Hong Kong with my uncle. And
I would do Body Slam.
yeah, I'm gonna Mega Evolve Body Slam. Fuck this. So I'll get a package from her, and it will have literally no letter in it, but I know it's her because it's from Hong Kong. And I open it, and it's like a newspaper boy cap from the 50s, because like that's just a normal hat to buy over there, I guess. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with these hats. I actually quite like how they look on me. It's just really funny to me that I sometimes just open my mail to get an unmarked package from Hong Kong that just contains an incredibly old hat.
Not old hat like the saying, but an
Yeah.
actual hat that is old.
Yes, and I mean, I'm sure it was made recently, but it is in a very, very old style. But
Out of
you know
fashion.
Kind of fits
Which
me,
therefore
so-
makes it in fashion.
What? I beat Champion Steven? Well, I've
With
never
nothing
done
but
that.
hard work and perseverance.
I did it all myself. I just want everybody watching at home to know that that time that I said that whattageek did that in-between episode grinding and preparing, and he was talking about all the changes he made.
Yeah, no, that was all him. That wasn't me.
That was actually all me. In fact, I know that you guys all thought this like AI voiceover stuff was like pretty new technology. Honestly, we figured it out forever ago because we is I, and I've just been one person this whole time, running 2 channels. I'm happy that it came out 3 years deep into a randomizer.
The truth has been revealed. What an
Yeah.
AI.
It was all the long con. This was a social experiment. It's like my Twitter banner says, "I can't believe Madrasto was a social experiment."
Oh my god.
Which I'm still not entirely sure what it means, but it was really funny, so it's my banner. How did this guy even get here? I guess you could say that about a bunch of the professors.
Are you talking about Steven, Birch, or May? Or you?
I'm talking about Birch. Sorry, it took me a second to remember that Birch was the name of the professor. Look, he's not the most memorable professor to me. I don't
It's
know
not
if anyone
Professor
could-
Oak.
No one's gonna beat Oak. And part of that is obviously that, like, you know, I was like 8 when these games came out, so Oak was the first one I saw. But also, it feels like Oak is one that they always revisit. They love revisiting Gen 1 stuff because it's got some cultural staying power, you know?
Oh yeah. There's a reason why they made Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah, like, Gen 1 stuff sells real well. And it's not just that, like, oh, there's a lot of nostalgia for Gen 1, although there is a lot of nostalgia for Gen 1 of adults who have disposable income. Don't get me wrong, that is most definitely part of it. But I also think that some of it is just that some of these Gen 1 Pokemon have worked their way into like the cultural zeitgeist so heavily that is just what people want.
Now imagine if the Pokemon Company kept doing that, where they kept putting out things that people actually wanted.
Oh no. I mean, I liked Pokemon Arceus. I would have played it a lot more if I didn't stream it, to be honest.
Of the games that came out from them in the past few years, I'd say it's probably the better one. Like, objectively.
Okay. So I did hear that from a lot of other Pokemon people who play a lot of Pokemon, that was one of their favorite recent Pokemon games.
Now, that's not to diss Scarlet and Violet. I had a fantastic time with Scarlet and Violet. It needed more time in the oven, though. It needed to cook some more. The performance is inexcusable. But playing it multiplayer and getting to see all the new Pokemon and the story and all that, all fantastic. The music, also fantastic.
Sorry, I forgot about this.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that there was like some kind of
Protag-chan, I maybe love you.
Come on, let's go home. Back to Little Root Town.
To summarize, I liked Scarlet and Violet, but I also really liked Legends Arceus.
Listen, lady. I know we had this journey, okay, well, not really together. Like, we bumped into each other a few times and I beat your ass every time. I know that we kind of had this journey together, but look, if any, I don't care how nice you are to me, if you walk up to me and you say, let's go back home. Let's go back to Dunville. Nah, you can't pay me. Sorry.
Nah, no way, dude.
No, not happening. Sorry. I'm not going back to Dunville. I don't dislike Dunville. I'm not moving back to Dunville. Everybody left Dunville for a reason.
You could say you're done with Dunville.
Oh yeah, everybody is done with Dunville. Look, Dunville has a lower population than when I was a kid and I left. And this is Dunville, a town. Actually, it's not a town anymore. It's an unincorporated township. It's too small to be a town anymore.
So it's a village.
I guess. It says on Wikipedia it's an unincorporated township. I'll put it this way. My hometown and about, I don't know, 80 hometowns around it of equal size are all worth 1 vote in the provincial election. That is how low the population of where I grew up was in comparison to where I am right now, even though where I am right now is 1 hour away from where I grew up. That is how weird what is this picture?
Look! It's Salamence against Poochyena!
Oh no, I'm up Salamence's ass.
Pretty sure that's not who your starter Pokemon was at that specific moment. That was your starter Pokemon.
These pictures are so bad. Where am I looking? What is the perspective?
What's Magby looking at? Oh wait, okay, no, I think I see it. They were facing each other. The Pokemon were facing each other. You were facing May.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like a Pokemon battle, and we're standing behind our Pokemon, but their perspective was all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
That one's perspective was a little better. Oh,
this,
so
I don't
fun.
think was accurate. I don't remember if Roxanne had Nose Pass for you.
So is it really just trying to show their Pokemon and then what I use to fight it? Because I love that idea. Like, that idea is really cool. But
yes.
Seriously, do the Pokemon need to have the back to the camera most of the time? It doesn't look that good, to be honest, especially when, like...
Also, to be fair, when you fight them, their back is to you.
Yeah, and I guess,
Sorry,
yeah.
Your Pokemon, their back is to you when you're in the actual fight, so it's just the same, like, perspective, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. It's just the perspective feels so wrong. Like, sometimes you see one guy's got the back of the camera, one's got the front of the camera, and they're different sizes. So you can tell they're supposed to be distance and perspective, but their feet don't line up to where they should be, so it just looks wrong.
This feels like an example of making one minor alteration to a piece of art and saying, I made this.
Yeah, it's fucking rough. I'm sure somebody with, like... Look, I guess I have a lot of Photoshop experience, but I don't have, like, the vernacular for when it comes to graphic design. Someone out there who's an expert in graphic design has the vernacular to explain what I'm talking about here. Like, that Magby was supposed to be behind us, and it did not look like it was behind us to me.
It was looking at something else entirely.
The perspective made it look like he was off to the side, not behind me. I get that the camera's 45 degrees, but okay, this one's better. again, but the dude is not even close to paying attention to what's going on. He's also way too big and way too close to the camera.
He has his own inner monologue that he's acting out at that exact moment.
I can only assume this is all automated because it's got to pick like random stills of the models that were used.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, you know, like if they actually just like hand drew this or something, then this would never be a problem. No art department is to blame for this. It's the programmers who decided to do the credits this way that made it this way. I love the idea though. I feel like I was saying something before that, but then I got so derailed because these credits are kind of crazy.
The previous conversation we had before the credits had to do with Legends Arceus and then Scarlet Violet, and then you started talking about how May was talking about going back home, which then led into your conversation about Dunville.
Dunville, yeah, I left Dunville. The population of Dunville does not exist. You cannot convince me to go back to the tiny town that is Dunville. I don't know, visit might be okay, I guess. Look, everybody left Dunville because you know what your job prospect is in Dunville? There's one factory in town.
To exist. You get paid to exist.
No, I fucking wish. You want to know what your job prospect is in Dunville?
What's that?
One, you can... Okay, well, I was going to say one, you could be a dentist. That's not true. I think the dentist office is full, and everybody at the dentist office is like 100 years old.
They've reached maximum capacity of one.
Yeah, you only need one dentist's office in town. Like, it's just how it is. But your job prospects are probably either one, the Bix Pickles factory. We have a dill pickle factory in town. You can work there. Generations of Dunvillians have worked there. Or you could drive to Hamilton every day, which is an hour-long drive there, and then an hour back, and you go up and down a hill every day, like a not a mountain, but much bigger than just like a hill. We call it a mountain here, but I'll put it this way: if you have like an ear problem, your ears will be popping every day going back and forth. So yeah, people don't stay in Dunnville. I think it was a town when I was a kid. It's not a town anymore, though.
Back in my day, Dunville wasn't a village.
Yeah, back in my day, it was the township of Dunville. I think the sign still says that. But unfortunately, like, almost immediately after I left Dunville, it used to be that, like, if you Googled Dunville, the first thing you'd get is the Welcome to Dunville sign, which is, like, a really nice-looking sign on a nice-looking street, and it's a good first impression. And then, as soon as I left, they decided they wanted a better landmark for the entry point to town, so they made this gigantic, really awful, tacky-looking catfish. It's a giant statue of a catfish right at the entrance of town, and it doesn't look great, but that's the mascot for the town, was a catfish. Most of the local teams, like, named their... like sports teams, they'd be called like the Channel Cats or the Catfish or something, you know. So yeah, if you want to go Google Dunville and see the giant fucking catfish, that's all anyone knows about that place now.
In America, we have state birds and state fish, so Dunville state fish and state bird is the catfish.
Yeah! Here we are on Route 103, so nostalgic. Do you remember that pond? Legitimately?
That's in the intro of the game.
I legitimately do not remember this pond, May. I'm sorry.
They tried to make this pond a lot more impressive after its main appearance in the intro, which is a remake of the original intro. But back in the old game, they didn't put that much of an emphasis on the pool, but apparently it stuck out. To the game devs, anyway.
I guess. Hey, don't get me wrong. If I was a kid playing this game, and I got to this part, and they cut the music, and it's just a one-on-one, you're talking to her, and it's like, do you remember this thing from the start of the game? Let's do this thing again. I fucking love when a long-ass RPG has callbacks to the start of the game, late in the game. I love that stuff. It's just like how, like, if you have a game where you've got like really awesome title screen music when you boot up the game, and then they reuse parts of that title screen song in like the epilogue of the game or in the lead up to the final battle, oh, that's like hair stands up on end kind of awesome. I love that stuff. And as a kid, I would probably be feeling that about this moment. But then you take but then you're a 30-year-old who takes a 3-year break from it, and you come in right at the end, and there's no God. Oh, of course he had that.
All right, the one move to stop fly from happening.
Oh, that's actually hilarious. Okay. And so I'll be fine, but that was funny.
Did you know rocks are used to kill birds?
Oh my god, I still get people referencing that sometimes. So good. Rocks
It's literally
are
just a
often used to
pebble,
kill
and
birds.
it hits a bird that's flying in the sky, and it brings them right down.
Yeah. Didn't you know that we often kill birds with stones? That's how they used to do it back in Dunville, you know? Everyone had like a
Big
chicken
game
coop.
hunting, rocks.
Yeah, everybody had a chicken coop, and when you wanted to have some chicken, you just go out to the coop and you bash one's head in with a rock.
That should be on the Dunville Wikipedia page.
Yeah, in fact, rocks are what we used for cutlery, too. Yeah, you put
Instead of
your
chopsticks,
food-
it's 2 rocks.
Yeah, you just kind of like sandwich it between 2 rocks in your fists. And
Now,
you
would it be
hold
rock
up over your
sticks?
mouth, and you like drop it into your mouth, you know?
Would it be rock sticks or chop rocks?
I like chop rocks. That's more marketable.
Chop rocks.
Yeah, like that sounds fun to say. Kids will be into chop rocks. It's like pop rocks. Kids love pop rocks.
Yeah. Now, not to be confused with Chop Rocks, as in the brand or the spin-off of Pop Rocks that had axes instead of popping candy.
Yeah, which really they should bring back. I feel like it's been too long. Oh, that was with a crit.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it's been too long since we had Chop Rocks, the Axe brand.
Yeah.
Not to be
Axe
confused,
body
of
spray.
course. Not to be confused with Axe's the item. We're talking about Axe's the body spray, because you can definitely cut someone in half with that.
Every high school / middle school boys' locker room smell. /
Man,
college, I guess.
They really made bank convincing teenage boys that Axe smells good, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're still making bank. They're still a
like-
profitable company.
Fucking human being repellent that is Axe body spray, but somehow they managed to find some kind of pheromone or something where only teenage boys think it smells good, and then the millisecond that they're not a teenage boy anymore and they smell it and they're like, what the fuck was wrong with me? Why did I ever wear this?
Do you know what kind of deodorant marketing actually sold me on it? Old Spice.
I could see that, and you know what? Old Spice actually smells good, so
Yeah.
that's fine. Like, I like a nice spiced kind of smell. Like, my beard oil that I use nowadays is mostly like a spice and rum kind of thing.